Eagle Emergency Center Orange present the 409 Sports Blitz on 12 News.
Hello and welcome to the 409 Sports Blitz. It is week 10 of the high school football season, and you know we really haven't had a week of upsets.
Yeah, this is a doozy.
And then it started last night when Nederland went over to Kingwood Park and they lost, and that shook up District 12 5A Division 2. Tonight, first place on the line. East Chambers coming in as a favorite, taking on Woodville.
Yeah, we always try to make those frisky picks. I'm trying to beat you out, you trying to beat me out, and tonight we both had a couple that were unexpected. We were both kind of getting each other back and forth.
Going to let you know this game was wild. Let's take you out to the highlights of 409 Sports Blitz Game of the Week, Woodville and East Chambers. And we're going to pick things up here. Buccaneer Stadium handshakes before this one. And yes, that is Dallas Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott in the stands, taking this one in at Buccaneer Stadium. Pick things up here. Opening quarter. And that is Jacoby Peralt. He was a little banged up the last couple of weeks, and he is gone, spinning loose. And he's going to take this one to the house. 71 yards for the touchdown. East Chambers up 7-0 at this point. Now, after a fumbled punt, short field for the Buccaneers, KK Morris going to take it in from 9 yards out. Extra point was no good, and EC is up in this one 13-0. But here comes Woodville. Jack Fowler to Isaiah Wheaton, and that guy's got some moves as well. They got athletes all over the place on Woodville, and he's going to take this one down to the 11-yard line. Setting up this play. Coming up here, Pop Prejean for the touchdown. I'm being told I have a bad roster, by the way. 13-7. Woodville is on the board. Now, Fowler is going to be picked off by Cooper McKay. It's going the other way. It is a pick six. 20-7. East Chambers looks like they're in control. 20-13 when East Chambers going to go to the halfback pass. Ashton Green to KK Morris, but that drive would stall. Okay, well, we skipped ahead to the scoreboard. We had one more highlight. Hayden Reeves would go in for the touchdown, up 27-13 at the half. But as we go to the final, Woodville has knocked off East Chambers 34-27. And Coach Rob, I want to apologize because, first of all, you said I had an old roster.
I apologize for that. That's on us. It was number one, Lloyd Evans, a.k.a. BB, but I apologize.
BB, okay. And
the Fire Sports Information Director.
It's okay. I mean, I know.
New guy.
It's
kind of like this guy.
Right?
You can't find good help.
These newbies, right? Well, and also, I had so many East Chambers highlights at halftime. That's when we started editing, and we just turned around, and y'all just kept scoring and scoring and scoring. What was the difference?
You know, where we were a month ago as a team or 6 weeks ago, I've never – in 23 years of doing this, seeing a team grow. Tonight we finally became a team. I think up to this point, we were probably a bunch of individuals. And we just said at halftime, you know what, I want a smile on your face. That one touchdown before half, that was 100% my fault. We should have ran the clock out. I got greedy. And I told them, look, I've had y'all's back for 4, 5, 6 years. I need you to take my back right now. And, you know, we had some other guys made some mistakes in the first half. You need to have their back. And we just need to, I want to smile on your face, and we're going to love each other. And, man, I've never been as proud of a group as I am right now.
Now, I told Coach, I told Cam that you're kind of a wild guy, but I said, you know what, probably after this one he's going to be a little quiet. And you're seeing it firsthand.
Well, Coach, I mean, this is a big game. You come in on the road. You're down 2 scores at half. What's the difference there that changes things all of a sudden in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you look what happened in the first half, we gave them one down there in the first quarter on the muff punt. And then even on their first one, I mean, number 10, Peralt, that kid, I think he's a D1 prospect. That sucker can run. But we kind of had him dead to rights, and he made a big play. They go up 7-0, and then we stop. They get the onside kick. We stop them. We muff the punt there, and they score. So, I mean, we felt like – and then they had the pick six. And then the one was my fault. So, I mean, we felt like that we were down 14, but we felt like we could move the ball. We felt like we could stop them. And the kids just hung in there and loved on each other in the second half. And, we just came and, shut them out and did what we did. So proud of them.
All right, Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, y'all.
Clinch the share of the district title, can win it outright now next week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll cross that bridge in about 12 hours. We're going to have fun tonight.
All right, enjoy that ride back to Woodville.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Now, right down the road, there was another big district game in 10-3A Division I. We're talking about Anahuac taking on Kirbyville over at Kountze Stadium.
Those Panthers.
Oh, look at
have
that
been-
beautiful sunset.
Oh, wow. Southeast Texas sunset, and those Panthers have been running all over their opponents. Kirbyville was going to have their hands full in this one, and we're going right to Anahuac first with it. This is a pass over to Robert Bailey. Big fella can run, takes a few defenders there to bring him down. And we're staying with Anahuac on this one. It's going to Christian Sanchez, this time on the ground, a little pitch out. He's got a blocker in front. Look at this, shedding tackles. You can't bring this guy down. Sanchez gets to the sideline, and he's turning on the motor all the way in for the score. And the Panthers go up 8-0. Two-point conversion is good. Cheerleaders having some fun. Let's see what Kirbyville can do. They hand it off to Taylor Alfred. He's going to the left. He's got a cavalcade in front of him. He's throwing out the truck stick, and he is going to step out of bounds, but not before picking up a big gain there. Now Kirbyville handing it off to Brandon Mahathey. His turn to try to make something happen. Brought down by the jersey there, but again, another big gain. Weren't able to score on that. Ends up in a turnover. Now it's Anahuac's turn. The pass going to Zion Clark. He's at the 10, 5. Blocker in front, diving for the pylon. He's in for the score. So Anahuac goes up 16-0 there, and then later on it's Landon Corbett. He goes in for another run. We go right to the scoreboard there, 51-27. The Panthers keep rolling.
Nice win right there. Now let's go to 21-6A down at BISD Memorial Stadium. Westbrook taking on CE King. Now the Bruins coming off a tough loss to Summer Creek, need to get in the win column. That's the Westbrook Stars supporting the Astros tonight. Pick things up here. That's Gerald Wimberly, and this guy is a beast at running back for CE King, and he's got himself the first down. Now, Nehemiah Broussard fumble. He's going to recover.
Loose ball.
CE King was unable to score on that drive. Here comes Westbrook now. Jamichael Foxall, and Foxall is weaving and moving. He's going to pick up 29 yards when it was all said and done. Now, Jaden Briscoe at quarterback for the Brook, and he's going to be picked off by Will Hicks. This ball is going the other direction. CE King back with the ball, and they're going to give it right back to Westbrook. Broussard deep is picked up by Travis Frederick, and this ball is going back the Brooks direction. Third quarter, Westbrook trying to get on the board. Briscoe to Ashton Simmons. He's in. Extra point was no good. Big time score, 21-6 CE King. But here come the Panthers again. It's Wimberly. And when I tell you this guy's a beast, it is no joke. Look at the speed on him. See you later. CE King was up big in this one, and they knock off the Bruins 35-12. And that brings us to Letitia, who's standing by live at BISD Memorial Stadium. Very, very tough loss there tonight for the Bruins that puts their playoff hopes in some serious danger.
That's right. It's freezing out here, but everybody played hard. You know what I mean? So this game, both teams came in tied for third in 21-6A, an important game for both teams. Now with this team, CE King head coach Fitzhenry said that this should secure their home field advantage going into the playoffs. CE King looked very comfortable at the end of the first quarter. They were up 14-0, and they didn't need to, but they still were going for it on fourth down situations. So again, very confident in what they were doing tonight. Now, they did have a running game that was really strong, and that's one thing that their coach said that he liked most of all. And he said DQ Hammond ran hard for them tonight, making the difference. He said his team played great, everybody was involved, but he said that Hammond is his standout player of the night. Now with this loss, playoff chances are dwindling for Westbrook. No Bryce Anderson tonight, so did Jaden Briscoe had to take the reins. Now, he couldn't seem to score in the first half and even threw an interception, but, you know, in the second half, they came back out, they settled in a little bit, they found a way to score, but unfortunately, at that point, it was just too late. CE King continuing to answer every time Westbrook found a way to win, so Westbrook behind the 8 ball early, not enough at the end. Now, they did play really hard, and they played through the whistle, but this loss tonight for Westbrook means that they are in trouble for the playoffs. They really have to find a way to make something happen, and that's going to depend on other teams either not playing well or them just having to get in on their own merit. It's just going to be tough for them. Again, CE King in a better position tonight, leaving here with the win.
All right, thank you, Letitia. Great job as always. Yeah, Westbrook's playoff hopes basically on life support. They're going to have to upset Atascocita and get some help. Things not looking good. Meanwhile, right down the road, Beaumont United, they were on life support, and they're coming back to life.
Another Beaumont team, and this is my first time getting to see those Timberwolves play in person. And maybe the first half was a little slow. We'll go to the highlights there. But, I mean, this team certainly has some talent, Ash. Something to build on as the years go forward. We know they're still somewhat of a new squad. We go right to the first half. This is actually Baytown leads Ja'Cory Boston. It doesn't count. They actually call this one back. A couple plays like this. Some costly penalties for both teams. And then later on, he's going to the end zone. Pass broken up. Not going to happen. Watch this next play. They're trying to kick the field goal. How about this? The heads-up play by Richards Trey. He's going to catch the field goal and go 100 yards with it down the sideline at Stalwart Stadium. It was 0-0 until this big play, and the teammates are running along with him. 100 yards for Richards Trey makes it 7-0 in favor of Beaumont United, and we'll stick with them as they were trying to put something together later in the second quarter. Here's Jonathan Martin out to Garius Coleman. That connection was working all game long. Coleman picks up a solid chunk. And here's a little option play. Coleman, whoop! Watch out for the move there, breaking the ankles. That was another one of those costly penalties. The play didn't count, but I had to show the ankle breaker on that one. Now Baytown lead, trying to even this one up as it was 7-0 to this point. Nice pass from Boston, catches up with Trudell Berry, and they're right on the goal line. They'll hand it in to DeCorian Robertson. Makes it 7-7 at the half, but when we go to the final, you might be a little bit shocked. The underdogs, the Timberwolves, lit it up in the second half, apparently.
Let's take a look at that scoreboard. There it is. Yes, Beaumont
34-14.
United. I picked Beaumont United. I felt like that they were a better team than Baytown Lee overall. They win at 34-14, and no problem for tight tempo. They take care of Baytown Sterling 48-13. A couple of other scores from around the 409. Let's take a look at the other scores from tonight.
Port Arthur, though, they're one of my favorites in the later part of the season. Some other scores to take a look at. Jasper 47-14 over Center in the Rough Riders.
That's right, as they move towards the playoffs. That is not the band of the week, by the way. We can take that graphic out. Mount Enterprise, by the way, they lead Coleman. Actually, they beat Coleman. That's an upset there if that score is correct. 34-16.
Wow.
This is saying that Mount Enterprise has upset the Coleman Bulldogs. I'm trying to double check on that score.
That hurts my picks.
That will hurt everybody's picks at that point. Yes, that is the correct final. I'm looking at it right here, 34-16. Nothing reversed there. Big time win.
Some of those games
for the
tonight,
Wildcats.
The upsets, they were everywhere.
We do. We have some upsets, but it is time for the first time out because we want to get right back to that highlight machine out here. We're trying to warm up as well. And it's time to take a look at the 409 Sports Blitz Band of the Week, the Woodville Eagle Band. Welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. We're going to move things on to 12-5A Division II, where things got interesting. Nederland lost last night. That meant if P&G beat Texas City, they were pretty much a lock for second place. A loss, they're going to drop to probably third.
The district is chaos
It really is a mess right now. Texas City trying to lock up a playoff spot. Crosby's already in. Let's take you out to the reservation. P&G taking on the Texas City Stingarees, and this was another wild game. Texas City coming in as a pretty decent favorite, 5 points by some, double digits by other publications. Stingarees with the ball. Jacob Duran going to find Kobe Allison, and he's got the first touchdown of the game. It was 7-0 Stings in a flash. Now, TC with the ball. Riley Chason has got it going the other direction. That Indian defense coming up with a big-time stop. But Crippen in the Indian offense, they would run into some problems as well. He's looking over the middle, and that's picked off by Christian White. Talk about some athleticism there. Those are some quick hands. Stings get the ball back. Here comes more from Texas City. This time it's going to be Caleb Bell doing the damage. The handoff goes to Bell, and that big boy is around the outside. Get out of his way. He's inside the pylon for a score. P&G was in some trouble early on in this one, but they would start to fight back. They were trailing 21-0 when Crippen goes to Landon Ganeri for the score, and all of a sudden it's a 21-7 ball game. More from the Indians. This time it's going to be Crippen with another touchdown there. TD for the Indians, and they are right back in this one, but here comes Texas City. Durant going to Kenyon Parker, and he is down. It was 21-14. Texas City at the half. P&G took a 42-28 lead, but as we go to the final, Texas City has rallied to win it 49-42 in overtime. That pretty much wraps up at least the number 2 seed for the Stingarees. P&G looks like they will likely be a number 3 seed if they take care of Santa Fe next week.
Fans at the reservation got quite the handful of a game there. That was a great game.
And you know who else got to get to see a great game?
Yes, they did.
Sapphire Cervantes. She's live out there at the reservation. They're trying to wrap up this crazy night out at P&G.
I mean, guys, I was a little cold, but things were really heating up out here. This was my first overtime game I got to experience since I came and moved out to Beaumont. And let me tell you, the energy in the stadium was insane. I mean, no one was ready to give up this fight. At first, Texas City had the game. They were up the whole time in the first half. But in the second, I mean, P&G came back ready to change things. Their attitudes were changed. In the first half, Kobe Trahan couldn't get any runs going, but he came back in the second. He scored a 37-yard touchdown. That gave them enough momentum to come back with another touchdown right after that. And let me tell you, P&G wanted to win this one. They really did, but they just couldn't come out with it in overtime. So Texas City scored first, and P&G just couldn't finish it. But the fans, they really were in it to the end with them. I have to tell you guys, that number 22, Caleb Bell for Texas City, that man's a truck, okay? He was running down, and there was no stopping him. He scored again in the second half, and really, I didn't see any. He saw his place to go. He wanted to get past that goal line, and he was going to get past that goal line. So I really applaud P&G for coming back from half with a totally different attitude, man. They really wanted this game. They couldn't finish it. And Ashley, you know, I applaud you for really sticking in there with P&G. You know, you have high hopes for them, and I got to see exactly what they're capable of today. And, you know, if they really play right, they can do big things. So out here in Fort Neches for 409 Sports, I'm Sapphire Cervantes.
Appreciate it, Sapphire. Yeah, that's a P&G team. When they're clicking, they can score some points, but that defense wasn't able to hold on at the end.
Yeah.
And the reason all things got crazy is because last night, we're about to see the highlights. Nederland went on the road to take on Kingwood Park.
Yeah, we're going to take you back in time real quick. Like Ashley said, we're going down to Kingwood Park. The Panthers playing host to Nederland and the Bulldogs. And this is when this district really turned pretty chaotic. We start off Kingwood Park with the ball. They're going right up the middle with it. In for the score. That's actually Nederland. That's Kindon Fuselier. Makes it 7-0 for the Bulldogs. Now we switch sides, Kingwood Park, and it's Jackson Sims. Aaron went out to Pierce Richards. He's getting to the sideline. He's turning on the Jets. No one's going to catch him there. He breaks the plane, makes it 13-7 because the extra point is no good. So Kingwood Park with the lead. Now Nederland trying to answer back. They're on the goal line, short distance. They're able to punch it in. So we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned shootout. Kingwood Park again with it. And the quarterback jumping up to the front of the line of scrimmage. He's airing one downfield, and it's Richards again, getting out in the open field and getting in for the score. 19-14. We go to the half there. Kingwood Park had the lead, but we keep things going. Now it's Nederland's turn to try to answer back. Broussard on the keeper. He's got some blockers up front, and he's able to score. 2-point conversion is there as well. 25-22 Kingwood. It's coming down to the wire. We go to the third quarter now, and it's Sims, this time to Christopher Bender. He's making the moves out in the open field, and he's going to get in there for the score. Kingwood Park 32-22. They would end up tacking on another field goal later in the game. The final score there, 35-22, as we head to the scoreboard. And again, yeah, that's where this district really gets shaken up. And
that's right. In Nederland, they're going to need to pull off an upset of Crosby to have any shot at the playoffs. Things definitely getting wild there. How about let's go to 10-4A Division I. Speaking of wild, the Vidor Pirates off to their best start since 1964. They are ranked in, actually, no, this is not the correct highlights, folks. This is not the correct highlights. We're sorry. If we could come back on camera. This is an old highlight. That is Vidor in Huffman Hargrave. That is not, I mean, that was Lumberton in Huffman Hargrave. So definitely.
Right district, wrong teams.
Exactly. That was actually an old highlight from, I believe, 2 weeks ago. So we'll try to get those Vidor highlights for you a little bit later on. But yeah, there it is. Upset. Huffman has knocked off Vidor 13-7. I'm really hoping we can get those highlights because this was a huge game, one of the biggest games of the night. The number 10 ranked Pirates fall for the first time 13-7. Big Tex, James Grant was on the sidelines for that one, and he was standing by out in Huffman for this wild game. And hey, you know, we didn't get to see your highlights, James, but we'll try to see them a little bit later. Huffman pulling off the upset tonight over Vidor.
By the way, down there in Winnie. I know it's a chilly night, but we're definitely loving this great football weather. And that's right, Huffman Hargrave, the Falcons with the upset tonight. Of course, Vidor, like y'all were just talking about, a spectacular start this season, undefeated 7-0 coming into tonight's game. But the Falcons were ultimately able to hold on and win 13-7, handing Vidor their first loss. The Pirates really moved the ball well. We know how much Vidor relies on that rush. They got quarterback Elijah Simmons, who really is pretty slippery himself, and then running backs Aaron and Wilhelm in there, and those guys are tough to take down. And really, they were able to put together some nice drives tonight, ultimately unable to capitalize on those drives. And the quarterback Luke Thomas there for Huffman Hargrave, boy, he's a tough one, man. He's a dual threat, can throw it, he can run it on the ground. Really, he was able to do just enough tonight to push the Falcons over the edge, but the score remained the same. The second half, there wasn't a single score in that second half. It was 13-7 at halftime, and neither team able to push it across the line in the second half. So really, both defenses played extremely well tonight. Vidor had 2 big picks in the first half, setting up great field position. But like I said, ultimately unable to convert those into points, and that came back to bite the Pirates in the end. But really a great season so far by Vidor, and it's just getting started, really. They've got a big district matchup next Friday night to close out the regular season at home against Lumberton. That's a tough Raiders team. I saw them actually 2 weeks ago right here at Huffman. They beat the Falcons in a hard-fought game. So that'll definitely be a great game next Friday night there over in Vidor. But ultimately tonight, Huffman Hargrave taking down Vidor, handing them their first loss of the season. Huffman Hargrave is 7-2 on the year. They'll head over to Livingston next Friday night. In that, another big dish. How about this district, y'all? I mean, LCM, Vidor, Huffman Hargrave. Lumberton's been tough this year. This is a tough district, so whoever comes out of this in the playoffs, they're going to be a tough team to beat. But tonight, Huffman Hargrave ultimately with the win again. 13-7 over Vidor. Live in Huffman, James Grant, 409 Sports Blitz.
All right, appreciate that, James. And, of course, with Vidor's loss, that makes every one of these results very important. Let's take a look at that 10-4A Division I scoreboard right now. And I can tell you that LCM, they took care of business at home over Livingston 33-15. So now LCM, guess what? They're tied for first. Vidor holds the tiebreaker over them. Also, Lumberton beats Splendora 35-7. You guessed it, Lumberton is tied for first. So you got Lumberton, LCM, and Vidor. 3-way tie for first. And oh, guess what? Lumberton travels to Vidor next week.
And we might have to break out the calculators, I would think, right? Or is it
You
gonna
know,
just be crazy?
you know, when it comes down to that, it all depends who's going to come out on top. Because, you know, if Vidor takes care of Lumberton, they hold the tiebreaker over LCM. Now, if Lumberton beats Vidor, LCM holds the tiebreaker over Lumberton in the head-to-head. So, yeah, we'll keep you posted.
It's like an arts and crafts event.
Don't worry, I'm going to be sending out all the
crafts.
information this week. We're going to have the whole 409 Sports team ready for all that math breakdown.
That one is going to be crazy, but we'll keep things rolling. We got more highlights. Like Ashley said, it's a highlight machine here on the 409 Sports Blitz. We're taking it down to Orangefield in Hamshire-Fannett, taking the trip. Longhorns have had a great season, so have the Bobcats, so we'll see what's going to happen in this one. Start things off, it's Cam Dishler breaking outside the tackles for a nice run there, and then Dishler one more time, why not? Breaking the plane in for the score. Bobcats strike first. How about Keegan Heckman, though, for the Longhorns? The season he has been having, he's got to be getting some looks. Unfortunately, this wasn't the best play. Intercepted by Tyler Sheeran, but we'll be seeing more of Heckman. We're going right back to him as the Longhorns get the ball back. He said the pass didn't really work, so I'll just take it myself this time on the ground. Watch all these defenders just bounce off Heckman. He's breaking the plane. Nobody can bring him down. In for the score, and the Longhorns are fighting back. Now we go down. Heckman's going to try passing again this time. It's Heckman to Jordan Joyner. He's letting it develop. He's going way downfield. He can run. He can throw as well. And Joyner with a nice catch, getting it down to the 10-yard line. So in the red zone. And why not just give it to the big man himself, Heckman, right up the middle. If you can stop me, go ahead and try. Well, they actually just barely do stop him. But he can just do it one more time. This time he's going towards the outside. He's finding a lane, and he's in for the score. And you might have thought Orangefield would win this game the way they've been playing this season, but as we go to the scoreboard, the Longhorns, they pull it off 35-28, Ash.
It is getting wacky here in Week 10. How about some other scores from the district? 11 4A Division II. Bridge City, they upset Liberty. Wow, all the upsets tonight. 21-20, so technically, I'm going to have to do the math. The Cardinals might still be in the playoff hunt. And also Silsbee, they beat Hardin-Jefferson 49-28. Even if Bridge City's not in the playoff hunt, that is a big-time win for them. Let's go over to Kountze Lions Stadium as they were welcoming New Waverly. This was a battle for second place. Both teams, of course, behind the Newton Eagles. Are going to pick things up here. Kountze with the ball. Hunter Reed with the keeper. And he's got himself a nice first down. Coach Todd Payne was so excited about year 3 leading this program. He said it could be a big one, and we're seeing it. Hunter Reed with another keeper here, and he's just chewing up yardage in that Bulldog secondary. But New Waverly now going to end up with the ball. Sebastian Amaro to Jeremy Miles, and what a catch right there. You know, I said in a play of the week, but that might have been the play of the week. Nice first down there. Big time play. Then New Waverly's Sebastian Amaro to Jeremy Miles for the touchdown. Bulldogs with the score. More from Amaro to Brett Adams for the touchdown. They were just slinging it out there. I was keeping track of this one tonight. It was actually a pretty close ball game for most of the night. How about we get the ball back in the hands of the Kountze Lions? And that is going to be Reed. Guess what? Keeper. Why not? It's going to keep on picking up yards. You're going to keep on keeping on for the first down. Then high snap, and Reed's in trouble here. No, actually, that's a nice pickup there for a nice gain. There's that high snap, and he's going to be taken down for the loss. Reed would be in trouble at that, taking another sack. This one was actually pretty tight. Like I said, I was keeping up through it throughout the night. As we go to the scoreboard, let's take a look. What do we have out there at Lions Stadium? Do we have a final? Yes, we do. New Waverly wins it in a tight one, 27-26. Kountze still in good shape for the playoffs. But, yeah, that is a big-time win for the Bulldogs, coming to Kountze and leaving with a 1-point win. How about some other scores from the 409? Newton, hey, no problems, right?
I mean, they just keep on rolling. That run game is just unstoppable.
Unstoppable. 52-22 over Hemphill. Warren, the season is unfortunately going in the wrong direction for the Warriors. 35-14 First year under head coach Austin Smith. You know it's going to take time to get them going.
Growing pains.
But they're going to go in the right direction.
You know about that. And then in 2A, Deweyville 20-0 over Burkeville. Hold they set up 46-0. Couple goose eggs there in those games.
Okay, kudos to High Island just for playing tonight. They are dealing with very short numbers right now, and just for them to play a game is big time. Unfortunately, Chester, they lose to Oakwood 71-31. That pretty much is going to eliminate them from the playoffs. Only 2 teams go to the playoffs out of a 4-team district there. No score coming in from Kelly in Luther North, so during the break, I'm going to be texting Coach Smith. That's what we do at this time. And how about West Hardin?
36-0 over Bay Area Christian, is that?
You know, that
right?
that would be an upset as well. We're going to have to check on that score in a little bit. But, yeah, 36-0 is the score we're getting reported there.
It's a spooky night. There's some spooky stuff going on.
There's
in this course. There's some
a lot of
games.
craziness going on. That's right.
Halloween weekend.
And we're going to recap one of these crazy games coming up after the break. We're going to recap the 409 Sports Blitz game of the week. Woodville shocking East Chambers in the second half. That's coming up next on the 409 Sports Blitz.
and you're watching the 409 Sports Blitz on Channel News.
And welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz, my annual Friday night text to Coach Jason Smith and Kelly. Bulldogs win. They knocked off Luther North 35-6. Congratulations to the Kelly Bulldogs.
They have just been throwing the ball all over the place. That freshman quarterback is something.
Looking solid. You know who else is looking solid? The Woodville Eagles.
On the road.
Big time game tonight. 409 Sports Blitz game of the week. District title on the line here in 10-3A Division 1. And we're going to pick up the action teams shaking hands. And in case you missed it earlier, yes, there was a special guest in the stands. We left him alone. It's his personal time. That's Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott taking this one in. He's got plenty of family here in the 409. Opening drive here for East Chambers. Jacoby Peralt looks like he has nowhere to go. Right, wrong. Spin move. And this guy is supposed to be about 90%. He's not even 100%. He's going to take it 71 yards to the house. East Chambers takes a 7-0 lead. Now, after a fumble punt, short field for the Buccaneers, KK Morris is in from 9 yards out. 13-0 Buccaneers after a missed extra point. But Woodville, they would start to click. They would not just lay down. Jack Fowler finds Lloyd Evans. That is Lloyd Evans with a nice move there, making some moves down the sideline. Big time first down for the Eagles. That sets up this. A couple of plays later, Eagles knocking on the door. Pop Friesian is going to kick it in. 13-7 at this point as we keep going back and forth. Eagles backed up. Buccaneer defense coming up with a big play. Cooper McKay,
Look out.
reservation for 6. It's a pick 6. 20-7 after the extra point. You feel like they've got all the momentum, right? Well, it's 20-13. East Chambers with the ball now. Third down. Actually, third and long, it looks like. And halfback pass. Ashton Green to KK Morris, but that drive would stall. What would not stall late in the second quarter, Hayden Reeves out of the Wildcat. He takes it in for the touchdown. 27-13 East Chambers at the half. And then chaos as we go to the final. Woodville wins it over East Chambers 34-27. And I'm sorry, Eagle fans. I shot the first half. If you don't know what happens on the 409 Sports Blitz, we're out here editing, trying to get things going, and we just kept turning around. It was touchdown Eagles. It was touchdown Eagles. Touchdown Eagles. And they just kept scoring.
I think it goes to show, I mean, yes, we love to have it be a democracy. People get to vote for the game of the week, but you made an executive decision this week that this would be the game of the week, and it turned out to be probably the best one that happened around the 409. Good pick.
All right,
it's
time. It is time for another break, though. As we hit the break, it is time for the 409 Sports Blitz hit of the week.
Hit of the week, and I always say buckle up the chin strap because you're about to get decked. We go over to New Waverly for this one, and we got to show some love to the defensive line. Getting into the backfield, it's Jacarius Smithers smothering the quarterback. You're not going to get too far on that one. A nice sack there from New Waverly for your 409 Sports Hit of the Week.
And welcome back to the 409 Sports Blitz. First of all, I want to give a correction of a score. Bay Area Christian actually beat West Hart in the final there, 42-14. Just confirmed that through Twitter. And also, we got some bad news from the World Series, at least, you know, for Astro fans.
Yeah, I mean, if it couldn't be the Red Sox, I'm happy to see it be the Astros. But yeah, tough game tonight. I was checking the score from over at the stadium, and just neither team was getting any runs on the board.
Right. As we go to the final, Atlanta,
the
they win it 2-0. Astros were getting no hit the last I saw until the 8th inning. Finally got a little bloop, a little bleeder there to break up the no-no. But, yep, the Braves now lead this one 2-1. Two more games in ATL. They got to win one of those to get back to Houston.
Just got to steal one and bring it back to Houston, and you're in a good spot.
That's right. It's going to be taking another timeout, though, here. We're trying to keep moving things along right here. It's time to take a look at the 409 Sports Blitz Play of the Week.
Ooh.
The Play of the Week, brought to you by 5 Point Credit Union.
And the Play of the Week coming here from the Game of the Week, Jacoby Peralta. This was the opening drive of the game. They said he was about 90%. Looks like he's 100 right there. 100. He's going to go 71 yards to the house for the touchdown. Jacoby Peralta. That is the 409 Sports Blitz Play of the Week. And welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Week 10 is officially in the books.
But before we go, it's time for the 409 Sports Blitz Band of the Week, the Woodville Eagles.